Amidst all the Matlala rumors that he is already planning to become a state witness and testify against big names who are really part of the criminal syndicates, a new video has resurfaced where a group of PKTT members went to meet him secretly at CMAX and asked him to sacrifice Sibiya for him in order for them to let him go. This has caused a great shock in the entire country and has left people thinking about everything. Why should PKTT members secretly do that? What has Sibiya done that he is hiding but Matlala knows about? The sudden agreement Matlala made to become a state witness is now suspicious. It is possible IDAC must have secretly sent members there in order for him to come out and tell lies about General Lieutenant Muanazi and General Kumalo. Things are really about to go down, and Lieutenant Muanazi said he is ready for all the thugs. Do you think he can win dangerous men like Matlala? If yes, and you support him, hit the like button, comment Viva Muanazi, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Jabulani, roll out the leaked video where Sibiya confessed it was true at the Madlanga Commission.
Advocate Hassan, I have one question on this topic.
I just want to confirm one thing before you do so, Commissioner Kumalo. Do you confirm that General Shibiri was present at this?
Yes.
Okay. And he was aware that Mr. Matlala was going to be arriving?
I wouldn't say so, because it looked like General Shibiri was arriving from China at that point in time, because when I called him, he just said, I just landed or I arrived, something like that, but he was not around.
General, you make all your answers very long. Can you please try to shorten your answers, because the question is a simple one. Was General Shibiri aware that Mr. Matlala would be there? If you know he was, you say yes, he was. If you don't know, you say I don't know. If you know that he did not know, then you say no.
I really don't know, Chair.
Sorry?
Okay.
I don't know.
Thank you, General.
Thanks. And then
may that request please apply to all your answers. I do know that there are instances where you may want to give an explanation, but it cannot be in respect of all your responses. Thank you, General.
I have a question to ask.
Yes.
What is the status of this witness's statement? What is its status? Is it a confession? Is it an admission? Or it was just an interrogation? Because I'm being asked on something that could have been obtained unlawfully as well, or like as determined by Mr. Matlala as being AI generated, and say I deny this and I deny this and I never said this, or the circumstances under which this statement was undertaken, where they went and booked him and then spent 5 hours with him interrogating him. Now, whatever they said about me, because they want me, now I'm responding to the statement that were made by the sergeants, when in fact they are talking about a confession that was obtained by Mr. Matlala that was supposed to have been, they are junior officials, they are sergeants. They were supposed to, when a person begin to make an unequivocal statement that if it were to be made in court would amount to a plea of guilty or a confession or an admission, then which means then there are certain procedures that needs to be followed. And in this regard, we're talking about a statement where people just called, went to book a person out, sat with a person out for six hours and saying it was an informal decision. It was an informal discussion. And then as a result, I just want to be assisted. Where do we position this thing? Was it an admission made by Mr. Matlala? Admitted? Is it admitted? Was it a confession? Or, because I'm now, why I'm worried is the fact that I know the status of PKTT in terms of so badly wanting to get hold of me, considering the fact that they have been to Mr. Matlala many times, even in jail, and saying to him, give us Sibiya, we'll take you out, we'll leave you out. We are prepared to even leave that case of Ms. Tobejani as long as you give us Sibiya. Work with us. Now, I'm in this situation now where now I'm being questioned on the statement that were obtained by PKTT junior members. Say, this is what Matlala told us. Whether I was being assaulted or what, under duress, I don't know. But I'm just worried about the fact that I'm responding to a statement that I don't know what its real status is in front of the commissioners.
Ms. Hassan?
General, it is what I described earlier, which is evidence that's been introduced to the Commission by witness C, who was there when he was questioning Mr. Matlala. And that's all it is. This is not a criminal trial. This is evidence that emerged during the course of this Commission's hearings. I hear you speaking a lot about this plot that's against you, and that witness C and that all of the people who were responsible for arresting Mr. Matlala are actually doing it as part of a plot against you. But that doesn't take away from what, in his own voice, Mr. Matlala has said. You can say it was AI generated, that's fine. I'm putting it to you so you can respond. You can admit it, you can deny it, you can say whatever you want to say about what Mr. Matlala allegedly said, if you want to put it that way. And that's it.
Ms. Gillian, do you wish to say anything on this?
I agree with the evidence leader that the status and the admissibility of the evidence is not what is to be investigated, but simply this is what somebody said, and for that purpose alone the witness is asked to respond.
Thank you, Ms. Gillian. General, at this stage, just a minute,
Aside this leaked video, Matlala also talked at great length about General Muanazi when he came to the ad hoc committee. He tried to implicate him, and now IDAC has hold on to that statement, that Muanazi had a meeting with Matlala and General Sonona and are planning to issue an arrest warrant against him. Jabulani, roll out that clip before show us how Lieutenant Muanazi came out to debunk the whole news when he came to the Madlanga Commission. If you support Muanazi, hit the like button and subscribe for more updates.
When I met with General Muanazi, he said to me, yes, I hear about your problem that you're having, so that they don't give you guys enough work. They just send work in drips and drops so that they don't breach their contract. But actually, if it was according to them, they wouldn't send any purchase orders at all. They just send small purchase orders so that they can just keep you entertained. So, but they're saying actually what they want to do is cancel this contract. So, and he said to me, they actually met, he said there was a police summit in somewhere in Emperor's Palace. And he's saying, during that summit, after the summit, I think, he said to me, General Nkowa asked National Commissioner Fani Masemola that when are they actually cancelling my contract? And Fani Masemola said that this is what I heard from General Muanazi. Fani Masemola said that, listen, I spoke with the minister. Remember last year, December, he gave a directive that we must cancel this contract. But now I asked him that I cannot continue. And then it looks like he is backing down now. So, National Commissioner Masemola, according to Muanazi, he said, I suspect that this Nkunu is working with Sibiya now, and then he no longer want to cancel the contract because I suspect that they will send this guy, meaning me, to come and kill me, and then they must put General Sibiya as the National Commissioner. And Muanazi said to me that, I said to National Commissioner that, Commissioner, if you think that your life is in danger, just say the word. I will take care of this cat. Then I asked him, what did you mean when you say that he must just say a word and then you will take care of me? And he told me that there is only one way that I can take care of you permanently. But he didn't say it in like kill you, but he just said to me that there is only one way that I can take care of you permanently. And I said, but what was the reason for that? Because he told me that they suspect that why will suddenly the minister decide not to cancel the contract anymore? But before that, he was the one actually who said we must cancel this contract. So he said to me, he told Fadima Samola that he will call the commander of special force and then they must give him a armored car from now on, because his life is in danger. And he was saying all these things to show me that General Nkua was pushing for this contract to be cancelled. And then he said to me further that she's doing this because she was working with the previous service provider, and then they were giving her a lot of money. That's why she could afford to buy properties and convert them into B&Bs. And he even gave me one address of her properties, which I wrote it down later. And then when I came back to Pretoria, I went there actually to check the property, and then I even took a street number and pictures of that property that he said is one of the properties that she owns, and there's no way that she can afford such properties with a salary from SAPS. So now, if you want her to come and work with you, are you going to offer her the same incentives that Metropolitan was offering her? Then I knew that I was very in deep trouble than I thought I was, because of now he was saying there is no way a woman like a general like her that she will just dump people who were offering so much money and come work with you. It's either when I tell her that she must come work with you, then you will continue doing what these people they were doing to her. And then, but he said, there's conditions though. I also want you to do something for me. And I asked him, what is it? He said, there is a case opened against him from in IPID. So he said there's a guy that they tortured, and the guy that they tortured opened a case against them, and then I must convince, because the guy stays, I also have a house in Mistream. So he said, because you stay in Mistream, I'll tell you the name of the guy and check if you know the guy. And I said, tell me, and then Mistream is not that big. Maybe I might know the guy. And he told me the name of the guy, and I told him, actually, this guy, his son goes to the same school as my son. So, but what I will do is, I will ask my wife to ask his wife if he can facilitate a meeting for me to meet the guy, so that I can convince him. And he said, I must tell the guy that, listen, he must drop the charges against him, and also he must add that the people who actually compelled him to lay charges against him is Minister Mkhunu and General Sibiya. However, I couldn't get the guy and convince him to do what he wanted to do. And I thought maybe that was one of the reasons also that maybe I got arrested, because I didn't deliver what I promised him. So that was the purpose of my meeting with him there in the Pels.
Are you sure that you didn't meet General Muanazi because you, in exchange for assistance to get the purchase orders placed with you, pursuant to the contract, that you were prepared to offer him information on Sibiya?
I don't follow your question.
I said, are you sure that the purpose of this meeting with General Muanazi was not that he would have been prepared to speak to the head of HR to place orders on the contract which was then awarded to you? Hadn't been cancelled yet, but it would be in exchange for information about Sibiya.
So if I get this right, you're saying the purpose of my meeting was for me to give General Muanazi information about Sibiya.
I interrupted you.
Please. Yeah, and then, yes, I was saying, when I met can we go back to Beverly so that you can follow up? Can I go back to my interaction with Minister Gele?
Yeah.
When I was with Minister Gele, I explained to him actually that this guy, he's saying he was, well, after he sorted out my problem, now we started talking, and he asked me, what did I do about this? And I told him about this Brown Mohotsi situation. Then I even showed him the chats that he was sending me, and then also him requesting me to give him money and everything. But I said to him, it's okay, since you helped me, I'm going to block this guy. And then he said, no, actually, this guy might, because I think, he said to me, the problem that is there is that the Minister Mkhunu, he's got a problem with the police being still loyal to him. And then Minister Mkhunu wanted to remove General Khumalo, Dumisani Khumalo, as the head of intelligence and put his own people. So that's why they are fighting. So now, this guy, since he's saying that he's close to the minister, he works in his office, don't block him. I think through him, he will lead us to the minister, because he's saying that the minister gave him the directive to do the investigations and everything. He said, I must keep on entertaining him. So, and then I told him that, but listen, this guy, he's asking a lot of money now. He wants me to pay him for this January 8th thing, whatever. And he said to me, please just do it for us, but don't give him more than 200,000. And then if he asks more than that, then you can stop giving him money. But he said, I must continue, keep on entertaining him, tell him what he wants to hear. And he also told me that he will come, because this guy, Bongani, he was also present. So this guy Bongani was also present there. So Bongani told him that, oh, actually, Ndosi, this guy in Pretoria there, he's got a nice penthouse. Because you like to visit Pretoria a lot, when you're that side, he can offer you accommodation. And I said, it's fine, I don't have a problem. When you're at this side, I can offer you accommodation. And then...
Now let us watch how our national hero clamped down on the cooked-up stories made by Kat Matlala at the ad hoc committee against him. The most interesting part? He said he has a videotape recording of the entire incident, so if IDAC tries to use Matlala to blackmail him, it will definitely backfire badly. Jabulani, roll out the clip now.
Matlala was awarded. Minister Mkhunu was not in, when the process started, Minister Mkhunu was not in the organization at the time. Jared Tele was the executive authority at the time.
So at least on the face of it, there appeared to be some connection, and so when you miss one digit on two numbers that look almost exactly the same, there's no reason to think that it was done maliciously or with some ulterior motive.
No, definitely there was no ill intention.
Yeah.
That's why we withdrew and made an apology up front.
Now the one person whose name does feature prominently in the WhatsApp exchanges between Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mohotsi is Minister Mkhunu. And Minister Mkhunu had handed up an affidavit that was deposed to by Mr. Matlala, where he says words to the effect that there's no relationship, no connection. I forget the exact wording now, but something to that effect. We'll find the affidavit and read it back to you. But words to that effect. Now, you had subsequently also been handed some information which indicates that may not have been the case. The impression is created by the affidavit handed up by Minister Mkhunu that Matlala almost volunteered to give that information and deposed to an affidavit while he was at Vusimuzi. Now, you have made available to us, which I will ask that they flight a handwritten letter it is in the pack. So, Honourable Chair, honourable members, you can see it yourself. It seems to be addressed to Nhlamulo, NHLUMULO -FYI for your attention or for your information, and it's a handwritten letter. Perhaps first just explain how you got this letter into your possession, and whether you know who this person is who wrote the letter or allegedly wrote the letter. Have you verified the contents of this letter? Have you sought to authenticate the letter? Just give us some background to this letter before we go to the relevant parts, please.
Thank you so much, Chair. Honourable Chair, a cousin of mine stays in Johannesburg, and she works in Johannesburg as well. She called me and told me that there is an information of someone in prison in Pretoria that wanted to see me and share information with me. But of course, I was in Durban and I could not just be in Pretoria, but I indicated to her that I'm going to be on my way to Pretoria. So if there's something that you want to share, I can meet up with you somewhere, collect whatever that you have collected and come and give it to me. And we made that arrangement. I traveled to Johannesburg and I met with her at, I think, Woodmead, if I'm not mistaken. And she gave me a handwritten document. And she gave me a bit of a background as to where does this handwritten document come from. So I took that and I was on my way to the Interpol conference in Morocco. I then thought I was going to be able to take time and read it and get to see whether what is written there can be of any assistance to anyone. So that's a background of how I got the letter. When I asked her how she received it herself, she said to me she got it from a gentleman who went to fetch this letter from prison, from a person who wrote it in prison. As you can see, the letter is not addressed to me. It's addressed to someone who I don't even know who the person is. I had to make an inquiry as to who is Nhlamulo. And my cousin had explained to me that Nhlamulo is a member of MK Party. I don't know if he's a spokesperson or what title does he have. But the person that wrote the letter is a friend or is a person who grew up with Nhlamulo. So he knows Nhlamulo very well. And as a result, that person was addressing this to Nhlamulo. And apparently the intention was to ask Nhlamulo to bring it to me. But it is said that Nhlamulo was not available. I think he was in Cape Town. And if I'm not mistaken, Nhlamulo would have sent his father to go and meet up with this person. And that's how the father collected this information. And that information was passed to my cousin, and that's how it got to me. So the person wrote like this, and I confirmed her whether can I present this thing before the committee, and he said, yeah, he's willing to testify. He's currently in one of the correctional centers in Gauteng, but no longer in Vusimuzi. And he had even put his name right at the bottom, because I thought we could redact the name in order to protect him. And he said, no, he doesn't mind. He can tell it as is. So that's why we have it here before us.
And this is a convicted prisoner.
I'm not sure of his status, but what I read from here, he said he's been in that, I think, in custody for more than 3 years. So whether he's convicted or not, I've never investigated.
Waiting trial for 3 years, a bit long.
There are a lot of people that can be waiting trials for many years in our facilities.
Like in the Senzo Moyewa. But so his name appears to be Jermaine Prim. It's right at the end of this letter, just above the digit 8, Jermaine Prim.
Yeah, right at the end is written Jermaine Prim, and he signed it.
Yeah. Now, this letter is Jermaine Prim, the author of this letter. Is he writing this letter on the basis of information that he is now getting from Vusikat Matlala?
What I was informed is that this person was in the same correctional facility with Ket Matlala, and he interacted with Ket Matlala throughout the whole process. In a matter of fact, what the information I have is that it was just the two of them in the cell.
Now, you haven't verified this for yourself or through your investigating team or through any investigating team?
Yeah, well, no. I've shared this information with the team in Gauteng as they are investigating some other cases in Gauteng, but not necessarily me, myself, to get involved with that investigation.
Now, you agree that there are a lot of names in this letter?
According to what is written, this man, because I established as to how did he get that information.